In the early 1960s, the American running world was ruled by European shoes. German brands like Adidas and Puma dominated the track. But on the quiet campus of the University of Oregon, a young runner named Phil Knight and his coach, Bill Bowerman, were about to change that forever. Knight wasn't just an athlete, he was a thinker. At Stanford Business School, he wrote a paper arguing that Japanese manufacturers, rising from post-war industry, could produce high-quality running shoes at lower cost than the Germans. His crazy idea was simple: import those shoes, sell them in America, and challenge the giants. In 1962, Knight traveled to Japan and struck a deal with Onitsuka Tiger, the company that would later become ASICS. Back home, he teamed up with Bowerman, and together they founded Blue Ribbon Sports. At first, it was just a side hustle, Knight selling sneakers out of the trunk of his car at track meets, Bowerman tinkering with shoe designs. But what began as a small Oregon operation was about to evolve into something much bigger. By 1971, the partnership with Onitsuka collapsed. Instead of giving up, Knight and Bowerman created their own brand. They named it after the Greek goddess of victory, Nike. A Portland design student sketched a simple checkmark-like logo, one of the most recognizable symbols in the world today, the swoosh. And then came the breakfast that changed sports forever. Bowerman, always obsessed with speed and traction, noticed the pattern of his wife's waffle iron. He poured liquid rubber into it, producing a sole with unmatched grip and bounce. The result was the Nike Waffle Trainer, a shoe that could grip any surface without heavy spikes. This wasn't just an innovation, it was a revolution. Got it. By the mid-1980s, Nike wasn't just a sportswear company. It was a cultural force. But culture is fickle. What people love one year, they abandon the next. And Nike was about to face its most dangerous opponent yet: complacency. Sales dipped in the mid-1980s. Reebok, with its new aerobics shoes, started stealing the spotlight. The Nike swoosh wasn't as cool as it once seemed. Wall Street whispered that maybe Nike had peaked. But Nike had a secret weapon, or rather, a slogan. In 1988, a struggling ad agency pitched a simple idea. 3 words: just do it. It was blunt, it was raw, and it spoke to everyone, whether you were a marathon runner or just trying to get through a rough day. That campaign didn't just save Nike, it redefined motivation itself. And then came Michael Jordan. Nike had gambled on a rookie in 1984, signing him to a shoe deal when most stars went with Converse or Adidas. They designed a shoe around him, something bold, even rebellious: the Air Jordan. The NBA tried to ban them. Nike told Jordan to wear them anyway, and happily paid the fines. Suddenly, Air Jordans weren't just sneakers, they were forbidden fruit. Every kid wanted a pair. By the 1990s, Nike wasn't chasing Reebok anymore. It was dominating. Athletes from Serena Williams to Tiger Woods became Nike icons. The swoosh turned into a global status symbol, and Nike became worth billions. But success had a darker side. In the 1990s, Nike was rocked by scandals about its overseas factories, allegations of sweatshop conditions and exploitation. Protests erupted. Celebrities spoke out. For the first time, the swoosh became a symbol of corporate greed. Nike was forced to change. They opened their factories to inspections, set new labor standards, and poured millions into improving conditions. It wasn't perfect, but it was a shift. Nike had learned that global power came with global responsibility. And yet, even as critics tried to drag it down, Nike kept running. Today, Nike sells more than shoes. It sells belief, the idea that ordinary people can push past their limits. That sport isn't just for athletes, but for everyone. From a borrowed waffle iron in Oregon to a global empire worth over $150 billion, Nike's story is one of risk, rebellion, and relentless innovation. And through it all, one thing stayed the same: that swoosh. Simple, swift, eternal. The mark of a company that dared to ask the world to stop doubting, stop waiting, and just do it.